we've got a big weekend. Obviously, we get our Big 12 number one team in the conference coming to town in Oklahoma State. Coach Smith, when we started doing scheduling this year, I was kind of take all comers mentality, trying to reach out just because I was really worried that we weren't going to get matches. And that's probably part of the reason we've got Iowa Central and Lindenwood coming in. But they're both two quality programs at the top of the junior college level and the Division II level. So it's kind of like the Wartburg-Loris situation where we can get some matches for our guys. And it's hard to believe. I think we got 4 weeks left of the season, and then we take a week off and go to the Big 12. So, when I tell the team we got 4 weeks to go, everybody's kind of shaking their head, kind of like, man, we just got started, didn't we? And here we are. We got 4 weeks to go. So it's good that we're going to get a lot of mat time, get our fans a chance to come in. I think they're going to let them use their tickets to come in and out again. So to get in and see a couple dual meets, go out and spend some time in Ames and visit some of our finer establishments and enjoy themselves and come back very rowdy at 7 p.m. is the goal.
Hey, Coach, how important will this weekend be for you? Like you said, just to get matches with Lindenwood and Iowa Central, but then obviously the big dogs, Oklahoma State. How important is it just to see where your team is at this point in the season?
Yeah, we do. That's exactly right, Ben. We have to feel them. It's always good to feel the best guys, and they're obviously the best guys. And they might be battling an injury or two right now. I know they're 57, who was a Big 12 runner-up. Sheets has been in and out, but I'm guessing we'll probably see him, but he hasn't been in the lineup a lot. And they've got one of their best guys at 133, who I don't think is going to be with them till February. But all the rest of them, wow. I mean, they're all solid. The other guys are Super 8 are solid, and I'm sure whoever they put in on the mat at 133 and 157 will be solid. So, you're going to have to fight hard to win one bout. We got to fight hard all day.
Absolutely. And then speaking of guys dinged up, where Jarrett Dagan, Sam Colbray, and even Marcus Coleman, where are they all at?
Well, the good news is we're getting closer. I think every one of them, we're going to weigh in, all of them. And we're going to probably make some game time decisions. If I had to make a decision, today on Thursday, probably no. They've been progressing in the practice room. They've been wrestling a little bit, but I'm super sensitive about putting them out there in this type of an environment too early. We've worked hard to get them back, and their weight's good, their shape's good. Just don't know if they've had enough mat time yet, live mat time. So we are going to have Shapiro back this weekend. So you're going to see him wrestle. So there's one. And we really, to be quite honest, either this weekend or next weekend, if we keep progressing, we think we'll have all of them back in there. So, hopefully the timing of it's good. And like I said last week, it's frustrating, but it is what it is. It's just, some freak injuries. And, all of those guys that you mentioned, Coleman, Shapiro, Dagan, Robinson's a little beat up. And then obviously Colbray, all those guys, all those names can sure wrestle real well, so we need them.
Absolutely. And then you mentioned live mat time. Have you done wrestle-offs between Bastida and Coleman at this point yet?
No, not yet. No, we're going to kind of let that play out a little bit, get Marcus healthier and see what's going on there. So, we've got some wrestle-offs that'll happen at those 84 and 97 once we get guys back in the loop. So that'll all be happening in the next couple of weeks here.
Gotcha. Thank you.
This is the third weekend in a row now for Ian Parker to be at top 15. What would it mean for him to beat another highly ranked opponent this weekend?
That's just what Ian Parker does. All right. That's just what he does. He draws his studs every weekend, and he goes out and usually takes them down. Obviously he slipped up against Missouri, but to come back and, didn't have a great match against Missouri and come back and beat a super talented guy from Oklahoma who's kind of had his number up until the Big 12 championships last year. I don't think Ian's ever beat Demas. So now he just, he backed up the Big 12 championship match in fine fashion, had to come from behind to win on Sunday.
Thank you.
And then going to lower weights, Kyson Terrakina has, it seems like, won the 125 spot. Has it crossed your mind to potentially see what Mackel can do at 133, or what are your plans at 125? Is that still going to be Kyson's spot, or how are you planning on managing that situation?
We're still evaluating that. I mean, he's a guy that won, not one, but two wrestle-offs. And so,
I know when I signed up for wrestling when I was a little kid, I like that factor of the sport is that you get a chance to represent yourself in a neutral environment with a neutral ref, and so that's always important. With that said, though, I'm also a very big competition guy, and so watching guys in competition is something that we're always looking at as well. So kind of have an idea of what 125 is going to look like, but not really probably ready to talk about it all yet. I'll leave it at that.
How's Cam Robinson doing?
He's good. He's back getting on the mat again. He's probably another one of those guys that will weigh in this weekend, and we'll see. If I guess if I had to put guys out there half speed this weekend, or be patient one more week and be full speed for our trip to the Dakotas next week, or to North Dakota State to wrestle both South Dakota State and North Dakota State, I'd probably pick the latter. So maybe I'm getting soft, but I don't want to put guys out there in Oklahoma State when we might be limping a little bit.
What's the energy in the room like for the guys as they prepare for Sunday with 3 matches and ending the day with someone as tough as OSU?
We had 2 really good days back to back on the mat days. Live hard goes was really good. So these guys are starting to they continue to progress. Probably not exactly where you want them yet, but I draw a perfect line or a hard line. But the competition in the room and the competing in the room is heated up all year, and we have to continue to get tougher as we face what we're going to face with Oklahoma State, and then just going into the end of the season as we get ready for the Big 12s and Nationals. It's not going to get easier.
What can you say about the progression of Julian Broderson? I mean, he kind of goes for broke against Missouri, and then when he's wrestling Mantanona from Oklahoma, a guy who likes to
over broke.
Yeah, exactly. So what have you seen from Broderson's progression that he's able to stay within himself and get the win against Mantanona and a really solidly wrestled match from him?
Yeah, it was. I think you said it. Stayed within himself and was a solid match. He didn't go out and play into that guy's strengths, and that's obviously easy for Julian to do. So to make that adjustment from going out and forcing it and kind of throwing a wing and a prayer at the Missouri guy, and make that adjustment against one of the most dangerous guys in the nation at 174 says a lot about him. But people got to remember Julian Broderson's a redshirt freshman. Okay, we got a young group of guys out there, so you sit and look at what these guys can do over time, and if they continue to make these adjustments, they're going to do real well for themselves.
How do you balance Broderson's ability to hit those big throws with staying within himself and staying solid?
Yeah, I think it's just a feel thing for him. I think he's got to feel when it's there and when it's not there, and not force it with these guys that are better athletes and better wrestlers. You can probably get by with it. I think what he's learning is you can get by with a lot more when you're wrestling a red shirt and you're a red shirt and you're wrestling the open circuit, because all the good guys are weighing in every weekend with their Division I teams. But then when you start weighing in and wrestling the Division I teams, these guys are a lot more savvy. So we never want to take that away from him, because he's really got some fun. He's got a good skill set there, but we've got to be able to step back and shoot takedowns and slow things down like he did a little bit with Mantanona.
Gotcha. Thank you.
What's been the biggest difference for you just coaching these guys through the season? All your new and younger guys, the true freshmen, what's that been like compared to other years?
Well, this freshman group's been a lot of fun because these guys are talented, and there's a lot of coaching that needs to go on. I mean, there's a lot of little things that they don't understand yet, but that's just part of coming to college. Understanding sleep and nutrition and when to eat and how much to eat and all that kind of stuff. So they come in and they're really good, not just on the weekends, but when they're really good each day for practice. But they've been fun. They have a lot of energy. They have a lot of confidence. They've helped the room get better because they're competing right away, and they're not taking back seats of these older guys. They're taking some butt whoopings, but they're not taking a back seat to them. So that's the message that we need to have in this program at all levels.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep. All right, gang. Well, I'll let you have Mr. Judge here, Isaac Judge, Tama County Indian.